and welcome to another episode of In Conversation with Hemali. Today, I have with me the youngest guest on the channel so far, Karan Shah. At 14, Karan has a passion for baking and currently runs his own business venture in UK called Box Bake. Started with cookies and cupcakes, moved on to scones, sponge cakes, and now he's trying the more challenging items like the rainbow cake or the cardamom and pistachio cake and gulab jamun cake. That's right, you heard me correct. It's gulab jamun cake that he's trying. Here is our interview, and I'm sure you're going to have a good time listening to Karan.
How do you make, kind of think of making a gulab jamun cake?
Well, like, honestly, I would say I get my ideas from my mum because, like, see the cardamom pistachio cake, and she was like, "Oh yeah, we're having friends around for dinner. Why don't you try making this?" So I sort of searched up on the internet, how do you make this kind of cake, and then I followed that recipe, and then I made it. And like that's kind of how I make these cakes. I just get my ideas of the internet, and then I sometimes like I change the recipe to like my to cater my like needs or like my taste. So if I want to add more cardamom or something, make it more flavorful, I would do that.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, and for the gulab jamun cheesecake, again, I just get my ideas of the internet, and yeah, that's my main inspiration.
You know what, Karan, never ever heard of a gulab jamun cake before, but interesting that you say it's on the internet too. Great. So, Karan, do you kind of have a magic wand that you kind of turn around and a table full of good cookies or goodies or whatever sets up? By the way, audience, Karan does some amazing. Sorry, Karan. Yeah, just letting my audience know. Go ahead.
Sorry, no, the audio was cutting out. I can't hear.
All right, Karan, I was asking you that do you have a magic wand that you kind of turn around and a table full of goodies sets up? And I was just telling my audience that Karan, by the way, Karan definitely has a magic wand because he does some amazing card tricks too.
Yeah. So, for your first question, if I had a magic wand to like can conjure goodies on the table, I still wouldn't do it because I really enjoy making the process of it, and so even if I could just magically make it appear, I wouldn't because like I really enjoy making it.
Okay. And where do you get the the magic tricks thing? I mean, is it obviously baking and magic tricks are separate altogether, but how did you kind of learn magic tricks?
So as like everyone else during lockdown, I was getting bored. So like I was wanting to pick up new skills. So I saw we had a deck of cards, and I thought, oh yeah, why don't I just learn some magic tricks? And it's just grown since there. Like on YouTube, tutorials, and that's like where I learn all my magic tricks. And I've tried making my own magic tricks, and yeah, I'd really enjoy it.
Oh, fantastic! Do you think you can show us something right now?
Yeah, I'll show you.
Great.
So over here, I've got a deck of cards, and I will shuffle it right now.
Okay.
So this trick is called the 4 Aces card trick, and you'll find out why. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to take out a prediction from the middle of the deck, but I'm not going to show you. And you'll find out what it is at the end of the trick, okay? So I put that prediction right, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these cards into 2 piles, and I want you to tell me when to stop dealing them, okay?
Stop.
Stop there. Okay, perfect. So what's going to happen now is we're going to count the cards here, okay? So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we've got 1, 2, 3, okay?
Okay.
So I'm going to show you the prediction that I pulled out at the start of the trick. So it's Ace of Hearts.
Okay.
Now the card that you told me to stop at here happens to also be an ace, the Ace of Spades.
Okay.
And the card that you told me to stop at here, the Ace of Clubs. But actually, the card that you told me to stop at over here was the last ace, the ace of diamonds.
I don't believe this. So good. Wow, Karan. So is this something that you kind of developed yourself, or was it, from somewhere else that you kind of, yeah.
It's like a mixture.
Okay.
Like one of the techniques I learned from YouTube, and then I thought, oh yeah, what can I do with it? So that's where I got the aces, and I thought, yeah, this would be a cool card trick. Yeah.
That's fabulous. I wish I had more time to kind of ask you to do more of these magic tricks, but I'll go back to my questions. So Karan, what motivates you to take up baking and cooking?
So when I was 10, in my school, they would do these home economic classes or cooking classes. And so every week we would go to our school kitchen, and the home economic teacher would teach us cooking. And I really enjoyed it. And at the end of the year, our teacher, she gave us like a recipe book of all the stuff that we made that year. And during that summer, I made everything out of that, and I really enjoyed it, like brownies, scones, and that was like the start of my baking journey, and I really enjoyed it. And I also got lots of motivation from watching like MasterChef and the Great British Bake Off and stuff, and I really enjoyed watching it from a young age. And yeah, that was my main motivation.
So you would, I mean, as I understand, the motivation came from school, of course, and then more of it, while watching television and, the cooking shows. Right.
And also, I really enjoyed like watching my mom cook in the kitchen, because she's also a really good cook. So
Fantastic.
yeah.
Wow. Believe me, your family is a very lucky family to have good cooks around.
Yeah.
Right, Karan? So Karan has started to make pizzas from scratch, and burgers, nachos, tacos, along with lentils, vegetable curries, and more. Who are your role models, and how does your creativity come into play while baking confectionaries?
So I wouldn't say I have like one role model as such. Like I take inspiration from so many different people. Like Mary Berry, she's a really good baker, and like Gordon Ramsay, Wolfgang Puck, all good cooks, and I really enjoy watching them. And also my mom, because like when I first started cooking and baking, she was my main inspiration, because when I didn't really know what to do, she would guide me and help me. And like watching cooking shows on Netflix, watching cooking YouTube channels. I really enjoy watching them, and that also inspires me a lot.
Fantastic. So, Karan, did you have any time where your mom kind of, went when you were baking or something, like, oh, Karan, you better be careful, and you're too young to kind of touch this or something? Did that ever happen to you?
Yeah, yeah. She was like when I was like younger, and like maybe she was out of the house, she went shopping, and I wanted to like use the oven or something. Then she wouldn't let me, because like who lets a 10-year-old use the oven, or like
Absolutely.
Yes. I found it quite annoying at the time, but it makes sense now, I guess.
So how did you earn the confidence that you can handle it by yourself?
Well, I did it when my mom was like, she wasn't there with me, but like in the house. So like if something went wrong, then she would be there, and then slowly she would like just not be involved in any of my cooking, and so yeah, I was independent.
Right, great, Karan. My viewers, Karan likes maths and Rubik's Cube. He has won singles, doubles, and mixed doubles category for the Under 11 Nationals in 2017. Karan, tell us about your newly started business, The Box Bake, and how do you manage your time to handle it with maths, with Rubik's Cubes, with badminton, and The Box Bake? How do you manage it all?
Well, of course, like during summer, like everyone's got spare time, because like I couldn't go on holiday, of course. So it was quite easy to stay on top of orders, because like I've had about like 15 to 20 orders so far. And some orders have been through my family, friends, like through word of mouth, and they've told maybe their colleagues at work, who then told their friends. And so like just through word of mouth, and then through my Instagram, of course, and I've just been getting orders through there. And so, during summer, it was quite easy to stay on top of the orders, because, I had free time, and I wasn't like heavily involved in anything else. But now that school has started, I'll have to take a step back from it. And obviously, like I'll still do it, but I won't be able to do it like on the daily basis that I used to do.
Sure. So, Karan, if I'm not wrong, you have done some bake sale also, right? Could you
Oh
tell
yeah.
us more about that one?
So when I was 11, it was on the New Year's Day of 2018. I had been baking for about like 4 days straight. And then on the New Year's Day that afternoon, we invited about 30 family friends.
Okay.
And they came over and I made like brownies, cupcakes, scones, and this was like when I was kind of new to it, and they all really enjoyed it actually. And at the end of the day, I had £200, and I was so ecstatic about that. Yeah.
Fabulous, Karan. That is big. 200 pounds is big. Yes. So
That was the first time giving it to like other people. So yeah.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. Karan, you were mentioning about your Insta handle, right? Could you tell my audience if they want to follow you, how do they follow you? What's your name there?
So the handle is Box Bakery Glasgow, but right now, I don't have that much followers actually, because like, it's a bit hard at first to like network and like gain followers, but I'm on about like 20 followers right now. But like, I've got like about 2 orders from there, but most of my orders are from like word of mouth and through like I made a flyer actually, and I put it into my neighbors' letterboxes and like people in my area, and yeah, that's how I gain most of my orders.
This is beautiful. So Karan, yeah, I understand that you're starting, so followers are lesser. But if now that many more people are going to know about you, and I'm sure you're going to have many more followers. And Karan, when I hear you talk about how you go and drop those the leaflets, it kind of it creates a picture in front of my eyes. A boy cycling and going and dropping leaflets. How beautiful is this? Wonderful, Karan. I would for my audience again, he's currently interested in, hear me clear, stock market. 14 years old, stock market. And he has had success with Google shares. Karan, what do you see yourself in 10 years' time?
Honestly, I don't know, to be honest, because I'm just as invested into my academic stuff, like, maths and my science, just as I'm invested into my like extracurricular stuff. Like in Scotland, we play football and rugby in the winter, and then I play cricket in the summer. I'm playing a lot of cricket and rugby right now, and I do guitar and keyboard, and then of course baking and cooking. So I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm keeping my options open right now.
I want to say that again: badminton, cricket, rugby, guitar. What else?
Electric piano.
Electric piano, baking, cooking, creating sales, going on the Insta handle, and yet doing very well academically. Oh my goodness, what are you, Karan? 14 years old. Heavens, fantastic. All right, Karan. Karan, do you have a funny anecdote or an experience, be it in cooking, baking, stocks, business, whatever, can you tell us about that?
Well, I wouldn't say I have a funny moment as such, but I can tell you that whenever I'm in the kitchen and my mum's in the kitchen, we will always fight. There'll always be a clash of personalities because, like, when I'm cooking, for example, and she wants it done her way, which she thinks is the best, and I want it done my way, which I think is the best, we'll always argue about that. And my dad is always the one that has to like pacify the kitchen.
So, Karan, so in your arguments, who wins it every time?
I would say me because I'm making it, but yeah, I never tell my mum that she's correct.
I like this. So, Karan, would you any message that you would like to leave behind for our viewers?
Just like do what you want because you only live once, so like don't like try and be someone that you don't want to be. Just do what you want to do. Yeah.
Right. Fantastic. Karan, just a quick one that comes, spontaneously on my mind. This is, basically I would call it a success that you've achieved, and Was it difficult to achieve, to reach where you are, or was it like an easy piece of cake for you to kind of? Was it just you knew how to cook and you just knew how to do things? Did you face any difficulties?
Well, I feel like in terms of baking, it's quite difficult because baking is more of a science because you have to follow the recipe to a T. Like in chemistry, if you do an experiment wrong, it won't turn out correct. That's the same with baking. It's a science, so you have to follow it to the recipe. So you can't experiment as much with baking. And
Right.
I found that quite hard at first. But I think I'm better at it now. And with cooking, I thought it came naturally to me because I could alter the flavors, and I just found that really fun. And yeah, it was quite easy to me at first.
So, Karan, anytime that when it didn't go the way you wanted it to be, did you feel dejected or kind of I'm going to give it up?
Yeah, that actually happens quite often. Like when I'm baking a cake and it doesn't turn out right, then yeah, I feel a bit sad and
Yeah.
yeah.
So how do you get over it, and how do you get back to it?
I look at what I did wrong, and then if not the same day, then the next day I'll do it again, and it will probably get better because now I know what I did wrong at the time.
Right. Thank you so much, Karan, for sharing your time with us, and we are so proud of you. For this young lad, sky is the limit. Karan, you're one of the youngest guests on my channel, and you absolutely rock. We wish you the best in all your pursuits ahead, and you are an inspiration to all of us. He just said that he doesn't give up. He has gone through those times when he wanted to give up, but he did not, and he stuck to what he wanted to do. Thank you, Karan, for being with us. It was a complete pleasure talking to you. My viewers, do what you're passionate about and you'll find success. And please leave comments under the video, and don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. Karan, thank you very much. And I am waiting to interview once again when you are, done with your scones, and then you move on to other things which I can't even dream about. Thanks, Karan.
Thank you.
And all the best. Bye-bye.
Bye.